The world I live in today has no resemblance whatsoever to the world that I lived in the past. Now you're probably thinking, here we go, little Englander, but bear with me. When my parents first came over here, back in the 1960s, they never had a handout, never had any help from the government. My parents even had to report to the police station once a week to ensure that they were still in work, because if they weren't in work, then they would have been deported back to Spain. My parents never had an issue with that. They never had an issue with hard work, never had an issue with coming to another country, learning another language. They never had any kind of victimhood mentality. They knew that they were coming from a different country and they needed to work their way up to make sure that their kids can then succeed better than them. Right? There was no victimhood there. My mother is one of the most strongest women I've ever known in my life. She is one lady that would back your corner no matter what. But she's also one of the hardest working people I've ever met in my entire life. She used to work for the NHS, cleaning hospitals. She used to work for the Jewish Orthodox, cleaning their houses. And she was the typical lady that would work about 14, 15-hour days. Come home absolutely knackered. I was what you call the old, what they call it, latchkey kid. It never done me any damage being that way, but we were very poor. We didn't have much money. And yes, we did have people knocking on the door, asking for money, money lenders and all that kind of stuff. But what it taught me was that because of my parents, because of my mother especially, is that you only get out of life what you put into it. Now, I made quite a few mistakes as a child growing up. I had quite a few issues as a child growing up. But as time went on, I understood that personal responsibility is the only way that I can succeed in life. And to rely on anyone else is idiotic, stupidity, and it will be your downfall. Today in society, we have a competition of victimhood. A competition to say that I'm more of a victim than you, so you can't say this and you can't do that and you can't say this, blah, blah, blah. We have a victimhood where people expect to be able to have the roof over their head, expect to have the car, expect to have the holidays. Expect. And when they don't get it, they shout, they holler, and they even protest. In life, and I've said this on many of my videos, you are the only one that can make your life a success, and you're the only one that can make your life a failure. Now, I'm not saying that all of us start on a good foundation. My foundation was my mother. She taught me that hard work is only the way to go. Laziness is not going to be looked upon very kindly in her household. And it's kept me in employment for a good part of my life. I'm not saying that I haven't had any kickbacks, like for instance redundancies in my life. Of course I have. I've even been fired from one job. But the fact is that I never consider myself a victim. I realised that the reason I lost the job that I was fired from was because it was my own stupidity. Redundancies, well, there's nothing you could do about that. It's just one of those things in life and you just have to carry on. So what I'm trying to say is, where I come from, the way I believe, is that no matter how many knocks you get in life, it will show what kind of person you are, what kind of heart you have, that you're able to fight on to make sure that you still can get to a point where you need to be. Being a victim in life will always make you fail in life, because you are expecting someone else to to do something for you. Now, I'm sure a lot of people that are watching this right now are probably thinking, you pompous twat. You don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. I'm not. I've been there. I've been in a bad situation before. I've been in a situation where, to be honest with you, I was very close to almost suicidal in a couple of things that happened to me when I was younger. I was in a really bad place. I was lucky enough to have the right frame of mind and some family that were able to help me get to where I need to be now. I'm lucky right now. I have a family that love me very much, and I have a job that suits me very well, that pays me a decent wage. But I wasn't always in this position. In fact, for a good part of my life, I wasn't. And a good part of my life, I made a lot of mistakes, a real lot of mistakes. However, again, I never classed myself as a victim. I always classed myself as a worker, and I never expected anything from anyone, other than maybe my mother, who I relied on a lot when I was younger. Now, no matter what life chucks at you, what you got to realise is that just so long as you've got a bit of the heart, a bit of the mind, and you make the right choices, you will succeed. And that doesn't matter if you're black, white, pink, yellow, green. The victimhood mentality that maybe people are throwing down your throat is never going to help you. Because the people that are throwing down your throat, I guarantee when the chips are down, they won't be there to help you. It's the people that have always been there since day one. They're the people that are always going to help you. And you just got to realise who your real friends are and who your real family are. So using again a bit of this and a little bit of your heart. Don't fall for victim mentality. Just fall for victor mentality. Take care, guys.